I guess this is the age-old question when it comes to building exterior stairs. Can a set of stairs sit on top of dirt? And you see this every once in a while. And I'm not suggesting that this stairway isn't sitting on top of concrete and somehow the dirt has just filled around it. But this isn't good, and hopefully by the time I'm done with the video, you will understand why. Here's a nice example of a stairway surrounded by dirt, and you can see that it's not in good shape anymore. And who knows how old this stairway is, by the way, and who knows how much longer it would have lasted if someone maintained it. That's always a good thing. Now, this is actually what happens to wood when it starts to rot or touches dirt that is actually moist. This is a planter. You can see the top of the wood planter here. And the dirt was filled up to this level at one time. And then obviously watered frequently. So the plants inside the planter would grow. And then this is, of course, what happens. What you're not seeing is when I took apart the planter, a lot of the bottom was missing. So let's just say that this was a 2x10, 9.5 inches thick. There were areas where it was only 7 inches and 8 inches. The wood had rotted away from the bottom. This right here is going to give you the best example of why you should not place a wood stair stringer or any other parts of the stairway in the dirt, or let dirt accumulate, dirt and debris accumulate around the stairway. So eventually this stairway is going to start to create some problems. The dirt is going to start to create some problems for the wood stairs. And you can see this is dry. It's actually got cracks in it. But when it gets wet over time, it's almost one of those things that's inevitable. And when I say over time, am I suggesting over 2 years? Probably not. 5 years, possibly. 20 years, pretty doggone sure. 50 years, I'd imagine the whole stairway is going to be rotted away anyway. So not a good idea to have wood near, dirt. And here's another example. You have a planter over here. The dirt's kind of leaking around to the side, and you can already see where it's starting to rot. Now, what about a stairway that sits on top of concrete? Does this solve all of our problems? Not all the time. Here's a stairway that's sitting on top of concrete. Now, I'm not going to suggest that the stairway wouldn't have lasted longer. I'm guessing that this area right here at one time was a planter. And there were plants in here, and of course the sprinkler was hitting the stairs. And just throwing that out there, I'm not saying that's what is happening. But this is actually a set of stairs that is sitting on top of concrete that didn't make it. So the key here would be to somehow separate the wood from the concrete. Now, what's the problem with the wood and the concrete? If you have the wood up against the dirt, moisture is the key here. If you live in the desert and you don't have any moisture, there isn't going to be a problem with the wood sitting on top of the dirt. The problem here is the moisture. Moisture can actually be in a concrete slab. You can have a concrete slab, and moisture from the ground will absorb into the concrete and then absorb into the wood. That is where the problem is here. So somehow we need to separate the wood from the concrete. We do not need to embed the stair stringer in the concrete either. This isn't going to be a good thing. It's going to speed up the process, should I say, because it is in the ground. The stair stringers that are below ground in the dirt are going to rot a little faster than a stairway that is sitting on top of dirt. A stairway that's embedded in concrete like this one the wood is going to rot a little faster in the area below the concrete than it would if it was above the concrete. And again, we've got to keep the dirt away from the stair stringers. If you build a stairway that's on a hill or in an area where dirt can regularly seep into the base of the stairway, then this isn't going to be good either. And you can see right here, a little bit of maintenance on stuff like this is going to also prevent the stairs from getting damaged and lasting a little longer. I mean, you can actually build a stairway on top of concrete. You can build it on top of dirt as long as you're maintaining it and you're looking at it, you're inspecting it. You're, hey, wait a minute, it's starting to rot there. I need to do something. I need to keep this area clean. Then it's probably going to last longer. But that's usually, I don't want to say usually, but sometimes that's not the case. We go in and we build a stairway. The contractor, an architect, engineer gets involved. They build a stairway, and then landscaper comes in, does some modifications, and then all of a sudden you have some problems. So that's not uncommon. And here's a stairway that's sitting on top of concrete, but it's the one stringer is embedded in the stucco. And this would obviously require some flashing. Even though I've seen these stairs like this built where I've actually built them myself. They nail or attach the 2x12 stair stringer to the wall, and then I would have put paper, building paper, behind my stringer, and then the lather would have came and went over the paper on this side and then under the paper on this side. I'm not going to go into detail on how I did that. I can always make another video if you need to know. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment area. This isn't good. The stucco will absorb water also, and the wood over time will start to rot and need to be replaced. Not actually the best way to do that. And then, of course, you don't want to build up the concrete or stucco materials, cement-based materials around the bottom of a stairway stringer like this also. This actually looks like a repair, by the way. I'm sure it was built, and then they had some problems, went in, hey, this is how we're going to fix it. And yeah, they fixed the problem, but they didn't, doesn't mean it's going to last forever. Here's one way you can keep the wood off of the concrete. You can use some building hardware. And I'm going to try and make a video on that in the future on how to attach the stair stringers to concrete. But this is excellent. They used a large post base connector, and they just raise it off the ground so they don't have the wood touching the concrete at all. A stairway like this could last quite some time. Now, I don't recommend putting treated wood underneath a wood stairway. This is still a wood product. I know it's hard to imagine. Treated wood does rot. And now, could you find a treated wood that does not rot? Great. If you do, go for it and let me know how it works out. I still do not recommend any types of wood. I've seen every type of wood imaginable rot under a variety of different circumstances. So unless you have something that you know isn't going to rot, I wouldn't use it. I would go with metal or some type of material that doesn't rot or will provide you with a barrier between the concrete and the wood. Here's just another example I had. Looks like they put a bracket and they attached it to the concrete and somehow raised the stair stringer off the ground here. And that's it for this video. We are back to the original picture. I hope by now you have a little understanding or a little more information about how you can deal with or maybe a few more choices on what you should think about before building an exterior stairway. Like I said, I am going to make a couple of more videos to show you how to attach 2x12 stair stringers and 4x12 stair stringers, stringers that are a little wider. This looks like a 4x, or it could possibly be a 6x. But I'm going to make at least 2 more videos, and I will attach a link here at the end of the video so that you can get a better idea of maybe what to do or something that will provide you with a method to have your stairs last a little longer than they would if you set them on top of dirt, put them in the dirt, or if you set them directly on top of concrete.